Fair. Live.
Yep.
Live. We're live. We're live with the microphone being dropped on the floor and trodden on.
Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
It's just I appear to be a bit quiet on screen.
A bit quiet
How's
on.
my quality?
As in the amount the circle goes out to represent how long I'm talking.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Alex, I can hear you. You went roboty a while ago, but I seem to be all right now.
Okay, so how is my sound quality?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good actually.
Okay. John has asked which account you've added because he has several.
Cock.
John Webby Webb.
John Webby Webb. I'm going to kill Skype. I thought you might want to talk text to people on Skype, so I thought I'd put that on. I'm going to kill it now. I suppose you should kill all these pages of Monpok. I've been slightly obsessed with Monster Apocalypse.
Oh dear.
I know. It's so nice.
Right, can you add, Mike?
Hang on. Add. Yep.
john.web1983 @gmail.com.
Oh, he's 30 as well, look.
What?
31, oh sorry, I'm getting confused. He's 31.
32 this year.
Yeah. Alright, it's changing to me and I got my maths all wrong.
I'm 30 this year.
I forgot that I was. Oh, you as well. Same as. Who else was talking to?
He's literally the same age as me.
Yeah, but I said that to someone and they gave me a funny look. They didn't want to admit that they were. Oh, I don't know who it was. It wasn't you. Did talk to you as well about your age, but. Hey, I'm 42, so you don't fuck off.
You are literally older than the hills, Kurt.
I am older than the hills. In July.
Right. I've lost. Well, I've not lost. I'm sure they're here somewhere, but I can't find all my old Smocon dice.
I can see half of mine. I only went to the first one, so it's not so hard to find everything.
Have you not been for the past couple of years?
I went the first year and I went this year.
I'll just stick it in there for now. We'll leave it down at some point.
Huh? Robot.
Have you added him?
Yes.
So it's john.web1983 @gmail.com.
Yes.
Do you want to say it again? And see if you can say it more condescendingly.
Right.
JON.
WEBB
1983. Yeah, he said his machine is dying, so quite what that means, I'm not sure.
Should use his phone instead then.
It comes up with John Webb, and then I press the invite button.
Wow.
So that's Juliet, Oscar, November, Whiskey, Echo, Bravo, 1983.
Just because you work on the phone.
Golf, Mike, Alpha, India, Lima, dot, Charlie, Oscar, Mike. If I were to paint trolls, what colours would I paint them?
White.
No, I'm thinking maybe turquoise.
Turquoise, that's where I started, was turquoise. My first trolls were turquoise. That's very old school.
Hold in there, I'm going to go and get some water.
How are you, Mike?
I'm good. Well, apart from a bit of con crud, but there we go.
Con crud, good. I was going to say it's been ages, but I keep making that joke.
Right, let's have a word with Webb in there.
A word with the web. I've decided my pile of smoke on staff dice will forever be my minion dice now, I think.
He's concerned about video destroying his machine.
We have to do video.
No, just send that to him.
He doesn't have to wear pants if he doesn't want to. No one cares.
That would break internet.
Well,
Alex.
It does cause a very kind of strange YouTube video, given that the only video on them is, well, our profile pictures.
A very old profile picture for me. I just changed that.
An old profile picture for me as well.
Iris was about 2 in that when I had that picture.
Oh, man, not quite that old.
So he's 5 years old.
That lads. Yeah, maybe 2 old.
I'm too old.
No, yeah. Well, I think it was
In the
Christmas
breeding.
markets, not last year, but you know what I mean.
No.
No, you don't know what I mean, or
I've no idea what you mean. It's all
Christmas of
strange.
2013.
Oh. 4 score and I don't know what really.
Is John responding to you on Skype, Alex?
Sorry?
Is John responding to you on Skype?
No, Facebook Messenger. He's
Ah.
hang on. It's not just me
Working
that
well so
has
far.
huge problems.
Oh. He's showing us as away on Skype.
He is, yes.
You've got Skype on. I was going to turn Skype off again. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I don't know.
Can we record from Skype, or is that not a thing?
It's not a thing.
I've changed machine since then, and I haven't got the recording
Yes.
software.
That's fine.
Literally at the moment, it is Google Plus or nothing. Well, Google Hangouts. On air.
Does it?
Only if it leans a certain way.
John Webb added you to his circles.
Oh,
He's coming. He's coming.
all over your face.
Possibly in your ears, I think.
In your ears. In your ears.
Right. Desk.
Oh.
Like sweets or something.
Got the 3 dots. Nearly there, he says.
Technology.
Oh.
Oh, you can tell Alex is back.
Hey!
I've got modelling and stuff ready to make noises just in case Alex wasn't.
Don't worry, I'm sure I can shake my glass case a bit and see if it falls over.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to. My full squad of hammer dwarves is on the top layer. That would make me sad.
Hammer dwarfs.
Yeah. The Forge Guard?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant some other game.
No. The top shelf of my cabinet at the moment.
John!
It is a John.
Well, the name of him anyway. This isn't just he's working. He's got his speakers and the microphone working or anything like that. No. It's just like. Could be worse. Could be a Nick.
Oh, that's just mean.
I know.
Have you seen the Nick icon on Skype that I showed you?
The Nick icon on Skype.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I put it in that message that I sent you the other day.
No, I'll have it. Maybe gone.
Okay, John, if you are speaking, we can't hear you.
Oh, well done.
Can you hear me?
We can still hear you, Alex, unfortunately.
Didn't really work. Oh, he's gone. We scared him off. Oh, I see. The stupid hair. Nick's back. I understand. I didn't get that before.
It is Nick in smiley form.
It doesn't make me want to punch him, so I don't think it quite is.
So when's Nick getting back into the game so he can rage quit?
Tuesday. And they've got age credit by Thursday. You buy a whole new force for nationals, 10 nationals, and then finish. We won't even play last game here. It won't be. That's just harsh.
Fair.
Mm.
So it might just be us talking about how spiffy SmogCon was.
It was amazing.
It was really good.
It was really good. It really, really was. It was. I enjoyed it much more than I was stupid playing games nonsense.
Well, I do want to get some games played.
Well, I did play the War Machine.
I did see you playing some Cash and Guns.
I did play some Cash and Guns. Highly drunken Cash and Guns.
Okay, is there any other way you can play that game?
No, you're right. There was it was quite a redundant kind of part of that.
I must swear I've never played it.
It's an awesome game. That was second edition we were playing as well.
Alex,
Mm,
how do you cope?
How do you go?
sure.
Played Cash and Guns. I played over the weekend. I played 4 games of Monpok. Lost all of them. One of them slightly voluntarily, but I still lost 4 games of Monpok.
Oh, we have a John again.
Ah!
Hello.
Oh, hello!
Oh, there we go. There's audio.
We did it. We did a
Oh,
thing, boys. What's
I'm
up?
so excited.
You still sound very...
No, I am. I'm very excited. Sorry, I just.
You sound like you haven't slept since like
yes.
Thursday.
Well, the thing is, there's that, and then is this auto recording? Just so I know.
It is. This
say
is going out
terrible
live on
things.
the YouTubes. And the...
Right. Okay. Cool. Well, hello, YouTubes. I'm waving and the camera's not even on. That's brilliant. I'm an idiot.
Don't worry.
No, the thing is, so.
How
We're
many
recording
views
out the
have we
camera
got
just for
right now?
Alex.
How many viewers have we got right now?
Okay, good. It's 3.
Right, so we could just start guessing who they are. So JJ's usually one of them, isn't he?
Yeah.
So have we actually got 3, or is that just John being cynical saying it's us 3 as well? 4.
It's me being cynical. Sorry.
We normally only get a couple of people who actually listen in live. It's kind of...
One's usually Adam, one's usually JJ, and some other random people who find.
When did you guys move to this? This is new. This is not like last time I was with you.
This is about 10, 15 episodes of this.
It's good that I pay attention.
So basically, it got to a point where Skype started blocking some add-ons, and our recording software was one of them.
Yeah, Alex was the other one.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but
It was also Nick, but we don't let Nick on anyway.
Can we get Nick back on the show, please?
We need another bullseye.
I saw Nick not very long ago.
Oh, I feel for you.
Just to be exciting, yeah. He was in London doing a gaming convention thing. He was doing some like LOL judge or something, and it was very nice to see him with his girlfriend. So hello, Nick.
I'm sure it's nice to see his girlfriend. I'm not so sure about Nick.
Oh, you guys are harsh.
He's not even here anymore, man. Give it up.
We did talk about getting Austin on the show more often, but Alex decided that would just make him the figure of ridicule even more, as in Alex. So we didn't do that.
Austin's too competent.
Yes, much too competent.
So should we have a quick breakout? I know this is a kind of a break with tradition, but should we have a quick talk about this convention thing.
Should we introduce the show first of all?
No, it's a terrible idea.
Well, I can go back.
Conventions are stupid, and you should never do them. Don't do it. They're bad for you, kids.
Well, I was thinking I'll go back and introduce the show, kind of.
Oh no, I'm thinking of cigarettes.
Aren't they similar?
Well, yeah.
They do
Which
have a
had
different-
one-
Cigarettes and conventions. I say they both have a negative impact on your health and life expectancy.
Cigarettes and
But,
conventions. That sounds like it should be a Jim Jarmusch film.
Wasn't it an Oasis song?
Oh God, no! Don't! Oh dear Lord, why is it? Oh, just need a bath now.
So anyway, hello, John.
Hello, Mike. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you for ages.
It's been literally days at this point. We could even go down to
at
hours.
least 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, quite funnily, like, I don't know if anyone listening to this even knows what's going on, but all 4 of us were in the same place at the same time for like 4 days this week.
It's very
It was
strange.
hell on earth.
No, I disagree with that. It was kind of. I mean, I've not seen Kurt for quite a while,
Ages.
so that was nice. It's
Well, to be
been
fair,
far too long.
Actually,
Yeah,
I,
just
I,
look at the
I saw
horizon
you.
line.
In fairness, John, I think it's been about 9 months. It hasn't actually been that. Because did you go to the Welsh last year?
I did. That's the
And
last time I
when
saw you.
said,
So
yeah,
was that really 9 months ago?
gotta be, yeah,
Something along those
That's
lines.
quite scary.
yeah.
Wow.
So, John,
Yeah, so we did a con, gentlemen. We did a con, and actually all of you were involved. Like that's the kind of the funny thing as well. So like, who's going to be on this tonight? I was like, oh wait, everyone on this was actually either a press ganger or an honorary press ganger for this weekend, and everybody worked for me. So that was kind of cool. So thank you, gentlemen.
oh, thank you.
You're
That's
very welcome.
means a lot to me.
I love the science of oh shut up that seemed to radiate from you all there. I'm hoping it's a lag issue and not that you all hate me and wish I'd just go away and leave everyone alone.
No, we're just trying to be professionals and not just talk
Phil.
all over each other.
But John,
Oh.
if you left us
Oh, well,
alone,
that's
there wouldn't be a smoke
great.
bomb.
That is true. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. There's
Oh,
just the last vestiges of con rot are setting in.
yeah, see, we all have it at the moment, I think. Yes,
I'm not too bad
It's
at that.
part of the
I'm alright.
fun.
I'm good.
terrible.
Shut up, boys. It doesn't count if you don't feel miserable at the end of a convention. Although, actually, to be fair, I didn't feel miserable at the end of the convention. I felt more euphoric than I think I've ever felt, or certainly in the longest while. So that was good.
Well, John, do you want to tell us a bit about this year's SmogCon?
Mm-hmm.
Should we not tell them who they're listening to first of all?
Well, we have said he's Sean Webb.
Yeah, but it's a good podcast.
No, we're going to go back to
It's
the
boosted
intro.
damage.
We'll do it in post. We'll do it in post.
Okay.
So you guys do actually edit this into some semblance of a sane podcast,
Well,
then?
Recently, we haven't. Recently, we've gone for a bit of a let's do a linear podcast and actually not be obtuse about workplace stuff or really abuse each other seriously or make any kind of inappropriate paedophilia references or anything like that. We're just actually relatively sensible. Some swearing. And therefore, Mike doesn't have to chop it about into 26 pieces. You just gotta go chop the end, chop the beginning, take the beginning, and chuck it at the end because we just talk nonsense before we start a proper show. And that's been about it, really, hasn't it, Mike, for a while?
Well, you say for a while, but we haven't broadcast in a while. So
I knew you'd say that as well, yeah. But yeah, it's true as well. But this is going to be more of a mess, I think.
Well, just, yeah.
We're out of practice.
Good. Well, that's good to know. I mean, it's always nice to cut out the obscene stuff, especially it's really difficult. I did a podcast with another internet radio show, shall we say? I won't dare drop their name on this show.
you can tell us about
And then
it.
I sort of, okay, fine. So I did a podcast with Flail, and at the convention.
You can't mention them. No, wait. You can't mention them. If you could, I was thinking Alpha Strike. No, it's fine. Oh, never mind.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, and we did this thing, and it was all really good, and it was great. It was great. I was talking to Paul, and then I sort of woke up the next day and was like, oh, there's this one bit that was just me messing about and making stupid jokes, and I was like, I'm gonna have to ask for it to be removed because I've really got to try and be a little bit like as professional as an idiot like me can be. Basically says, "Oh, Paul, look, mate, can you just chop that one reference out, please?" And I'm not going to tell you what the reference was because we're gonna have no nonsense on this show either. It's going to be really, really pro and sensible, and I'm going to behave, which is very hard for me because I do like to say terrible, terrible things. But yes, I'm a really professional person.
You're not. You're a terrible person.
Well, we did establish that also. Like, I did come home to my girlfriend Al and explain everything. I had a very amusing time. It was our 11-year anniversary, and I took my girlfriend. Well, she took me out for dinner. Not I took her out for dinner, but I did buy her a nice present. And I said, oh, so my friend Al has basically figured out that I'm a broken human being, and I'm sorry that you have to tolerate my existence. But she's fine with it. So we're one of those crazy couples, and it just works despite itself, not because of itself. So. But coming back off the con, I've been in such a good mood that I think she's quite happy about the world at the moment. So
she's not trying to leave you because
I did that thing. So, no, she's quite reverse actually, and my boss is always
time with. Yeah.
No, my boss has always also commented that I seem far more positive. And I did that thing that although like I'm sure you guys have seen High Fidelity, it's a great film.
Yeah.
You know that bit at the end of the film where he kind of asks his girlfriend to marry him even though he doesn't want to, and she kind of says no, like because she knows he's not serious. We kind of went through that again. It's not the first time we've done it, but it was just like, yeah, it's like I'm not asking you to marry me, but what would you say if I asked you to marry me? Because I was just in such a strange mood. So that was fun. So once again, I'm a terrible broken human being doing appalling things to my girlfriend, but she loves it. What can I say? So that's what running a convention does to you. It makes you a crazy person. You know?
Well, I was going to say, you have every right to come back off that convention feeling sort of a bit of a high because, quite frankly, there's nothing else like it in the UK.
I mean, the other conventions exist. I mean, Mike, you're involved in some of them. Let's face it. But I think
let's start there.
For War Machine and Hordes. Well, no, even within wargaming, I think I'm fairly confident in saying there's nothing quite like SmogCon now. Like you guys have heard me blather on about the 5-year plan forever and a day, and we're kind of at the end of it now. I mean, we are at year 4. Well, we just had year 4, and I've kind of ticked all the boxes I want to tick. So now it's like, ooh, what next? But yeah, as a result, I've kind of got all the ingredients, and now it's just a case of perfecting the recipe to make a really awful kind of comparison to baking. I don't know, to make an awful curry. Yes.
Well, this year you did add sort of
400.
Oh, yeah, you did add a little sort of sprinkle of Ed Burrell, a dash of Will Schick, a helping of Doug Seacat, and just over the top a garnish of Ron Cruzy.
A diseased Ron Cruzy as well, might I
Ron wasn't feeling too hot. Yeah.
No.
I think that's it's the first time I've come to the UK, isn't it?
Well, Ron Cruzy came to the UK when he was in school, he told me. And apart from that, the other gentlemen, it was their first time this side of the pond. So that was pretty cool. And Ed and Doug have been running around London for the last 3 days looking at things like the Queen's house and the Queen's old house and the place where we used to execute bad people. So that was good for them.
And posting pictures all over the internet as well.
And the Pope.
I know, and posting pictures of themselves all over the internet doing all those things as well.
Absolutely. So that was really cool. It was always the dream to get some of the PP guys over. I really hope that people listening to this have some vague idea of what we're talking about because we haven't actually introduced it. But yeah, we run a convention and it's getting quite big now, and it's about privateer, and it's got lots of really amazing stuff that doesn't normally happen. And it's cool, and that's what we did this weekend. If anyone's like, "What the hell are you guys talking? Who's Ed Burrell? What's an Ed Burrell?" I think if you think that, you're probably listening to the wrong podcast. But you never know.
I don't know. We have all sorts of.
What's the matter, Kurt? You just
no.
You don't know who an Ed Burrell is.
Podcast. This is particularly focused on privateer press, but we have wavered a little bit, and we have other podcast. Our podcast is more generic gaming, not the other mainstream Hoogie Whatsits, but we talk about spaceships and ninjas as well occasionally.
Which are all acceptable things to talk about.
Totally.
But no,
we're a podcast that more talks to War Machine players than about War Machine.
Yes, I agree with that. Well said.
Oh, well, I was Should I go?
No.
It's really awkward, Kurt. You have some really awkward lag on your line, and you're just like everyone's clear apart from Kurt, who's just clipping. I think it's because you're down in Somerset and they've
No,
barely
my
invented the
broadband
internet
is
there.
really,
So
really
Kurt's probably
good.
on like 56 gig dial-up.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
you're clipping, mate.
That's bizarre.
Okay. I guess it's just that the London to the southwest line is a bit iffy right now. There are sheep on the line or something. I don't know. So what did we want to discuss about SmogCon then, boys? Seeing as you were all there and you all worked your butts off, Al was kind of my wingman for quite a lot of the event, which was pretty awesome. And Chom, you were like the IT guru stroke Iron Arena guy, and Kurt, you kind of lived in the Iron Arena as well, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
So how was the view from the Iron Arena? Because the thing is, like, I mean, I think I wish I'd taken my pedometer because I don't know how many times I walked around SmogCon, but it was lots, and I was basically starting at 6 in the morning and going to bed at 2:30 every night. So, but during that period of like incredible awakeness, I was just doing laps and sort of fighting all the tiny fires that needed fighting and sorting out tiny bits and pieces.
Well, the view from the Iron Arena was one of a very long queue that, whenever it got to being 0 people, filled up again.
Yes.
Because the amount of games being played in that room was just truly phenomenal again.
It came in waves, didn't it? You kind of go, you think you get a bit of a break, and you kind of think, oh, it's fine, and then suddenly there's like 20 people stood there, and it would just kind of. Then you'd work your way through them, and then gradually more people would come along, but you'd gradually get through them. And then the breading colossal table would finish. There'd be 4 people stood there all of a sudden. But yeah, you just clear it down, and you get about 10 minutes to catch your breath, and it would just next wave would come in.
Why don't you explain what the Iron Arena is? It's not necessarily a common concept in the UK or Europe. And this is a European convention, even though it's not. It's actually multinational, and people came from around the world.
Well, I mean, you had people coming from the United Arab Emirates this year as well, and America and Australia. And
last year.
Oh, was it last year for Australia?
Yeah. The guys in Dubai were over last year. No, this year we had our Australian guy who visits for 1 day every year because he can get it as a business trip, which is incredible. We did have Meneth John Podfather. He flew over. Obviously, we had 4 guys from Privateer Press flying over as well. Bob is technically an American, but he's been there for the last 2 years, so I don't know if he counts because he's kind of staff.
Well, yeah. Well, the Iron Arena is sort of where all these people can meet together and play casual games of War Machine. And that's pretty much it. Is a very large room with lots of people going, do you fancy a game? And for their games, they can earn fabulous prizes.
Shiny things.
Yes, exactly. And some of those concept art pieces were extremely shiny.
The dice, what they've said on, I mean, the dice went like crazy. Sorry, John.
Which is weird because no, it's fine. Yeah, upsettingly, we were supposed to have some Privateer Press dice, but I don't think they made it to us. Unfortunately, I need to chase up what happened with them. But yeah, it was kind of cool this year because PP did actually give us just a heck of a lot of support, both in terms of the Iron Arena. In terms of obviously being there, in terms of the keynote speech, which I guess we'll talk about in a minute, but also in terms of just general prize support. So like all the events, they gave us the Privateer Press plaques, which was really cool. Each round had a random giveaway of some measuring sets, and there was nearly every event had an IK Unleashed box set to give away at random, as well as did have the full-size, not the full-size Haley statue. That's not on the market yet. Yeah, leave it, Kurt. Leave it alone. The Haley statue, and I'm listening to you. And a couple of colossals as well. So this year in the Iron Arena, obviously last year we did the SmogCon homage to the Iron Arena, the Smog Pit. But this year we had the 100% real deal prime cut steak Iron Arena, and we had some really amazing art prints which I wanted to steal, and some really amazing concepts art which I also wanted to steal, and some widgets and some tokens and some dice. And I think the tokens went pretty quick. Like I've got, I think, 2 of myself from when I went out to Lock and Load. They're just the focus tokens with the Yeah, it's the focus tokens that you get in the token set, but they're black with the PP logo on it. And I use them for like weird stuff that only requires like energy boost and stuff like that. And they're just, they're only a little thing, but they're cute. And I know some people try and get a set, enough to do their Warcaster or whatever. I'm at the point now where I can do like random focus sets based on all the lost property tokens that get left in my sort of care. So I've got a huge stack of multicolored Focus and Fury to play with for next year. So that's pretty cool. I think I'll never need to buy a token set again. I have so many odds and ends from the event. And actually, if anyone's listening to this and they did lose anything, do get in touch, because I do have some stuff that I would like to get back to people. I'm not going to say what it is because people just phone me like, "Oh yeah, that was totally mine." But
that's my Android tablet. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that girl. That stripper she's on.
Oh, you guys! What did I say about keeping it classy? Like I'm trying to pretend that I'm professional about stuff at the moment.
I was going to say,
so
you weren't keeping it
keep
classy
it
in
together.
a 4-star hotel.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that's something we can talk about. We really don't have a structure tonight. We're going to ramble until I fall asleep, which will probably be fairly soon. It's something that has been discussed over the last few days, and obviously it was discussed last year. The hotel is a deliberate choice. I mean, part of it is I needed a venue that was big enough, and last year we used the Mandalay, and it wasn't big enough, and this year we used the Radisson Blu, and it was almost big enough. But I mean, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention on Twitter tonight and the old Book of Faces, but I kind of announced a potential second SmogCon event. It's not a convention; it's a Masters, but and it's aiming at like I think there is a gap in the market, shall we say, for a kind of a slightly different feel. And SmogCon. It's different because it's that American convention style. And one of the best things I heard this weekend was chatting to Jamie P, and he was like, you've really done it, John. This feels just like War Machine Weekend. It feels like TempleCon. To me, it doesn't quite feel like Gen Con because Gen Con is so big. It feels like Lock and Load. It's not just a tournament, and I don't have anything against just tournaments because I run just tournaments and I like to attend just tournaments. And the SmogCon Summer Brawl stroke spring breakage, depending on where I can find the gap in the calendar, is going to be a Masters event or a Masters format event at least. But this is the biggest, most sort of show-stopping event I can do, and a big part of that is the venue because it's just different. And I've been to events in everywhere from Cardiff right up to Northwest Gaming Centre and even further up. And they all have their own kind of character, I guess. And using these 4-star venues is about my character, because obviously I'm a classy gentleman. I mean, anyone who knows me knows that I'm just a classy fellow. So why wouldn't I?
It's the bow ties, especially, John.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel like Chris Cawthorne should be running these events because he's probably one of the classiest wargamers I know.
Or Henry.
So yeah, maybe I'll sub Chris and he can be the face of the show going forward.
I think Henry needs to.
Because I'm more like Hobo John.
Henry Clark needs to compare.
And Henry, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. They're two very well spoken, very intelligent. Gentleman wargamers, absolutely. But I mean, that's that's kind of part of the shtick.
Oh yeah, there was Tuxedo Machine, wasn't there? I can't remember who that was.
Tuxedo Machine. Well, maybe we'll do a bow tie, like what's it called, Top and Tails, isn't it? We'll do like a Top and Tails War Machine event next year, because I am looking for new formats for next year. The base schedule is written. I'm going to show it to press gangers soon, get their feedback, get their ideas. But I have space, as long as the hotel comes back and confirms one thing that I'm waiting on. I sent them a huge wall of text, and they sort of reply saying, "Oh, thank you. We'll be in touch soon," because I think they possibly weren't expecting it the Monday after the event for me to hit them up with this huge wall of text. But I have to secure stuff early for next year.
Got to be in
quick. But yeah, so we're going to be more than doubling the comp space for next year.
Wow.
Yeah. There is a plan, there is a method to my madness, so don't panic just yet, because I'd imagine anyone that hears that was a PG on the comp is going, no more, because I've been crunching the hours, and guys were doing 13 shifts, which is like 52 hours of War Machine, which is I mean, I'm so grateful to the press gang. Whether you turn up did 4 hours or whether you've been someone that I've bounced ideas off for the last year, it all means I get to do this, and to be honest, we get to do this. Like, that's the thing. Although it's my name at the top, and I think people tend to associate it with me. It's not like the planning is kind of a one-man show now. Although, like I say, I do bounce ideas off people, but the actual execution is anything but. And I think if it was, I mean, it's literally impossible not to do this. I think we had over 30 press gangers this year, and it was barely enough. So that tells you quite a lot about the scale.
I think that's most of the active
and like
British
I say,
PG crowd.
It's not far. I mean, well, and that was the other thing. It wasn't the active British crowd. It was the active British crowd plus some French press gangers and some German press gangers.
And Damien and
Nick, Damien. It was just all sorts. Pard did a shift. Pard with the moustache. He's a great guy. And that's the other thing. Like, it is. I say it's a multinational event. If nothing else, it's definitely for the European crowd, and it might. And it even further than that, and so it's nice to have friends, and you are all my friends, and it's one of those sucky things. Like, I can't speak to all 400 customers plus all my press gangers over the weekend, and I want to, because it's good to hear what you think and get your feedback and whatever. And I sort of try and stop to talk to as many people as possible. But a lot of people said, "Oh yeah, we saw you, John, and your head was down in your iPad and you were storming down a corridor." And I was like, "Yeah, something would have been happening at that point that needed my attention. I was just sort of making my way to fight out the next fire." And so I'll sort of shout hello at you as I run past you, and then run away into the kind of the hidden depths of the con. And it's really awful because I'd love to just sort of walk around and chat to people, and I'll do that as much as possible. And it's certainly something I did way more this year than last year. Last year I was kind of a little bit hidden away in the painting room, and I felt a bit lonely. So this year I was like, right, I'm going to do it a bit differently, and I'm going to go out there and speak to people, because everyone's made the time to come to the show. Everyone's stumped up for it, and it's not like, this is again, this is something where I've been pitching this new idea, and also just with SmallCon in general. It's not the cheapest event, but I hope it gives value for money, because I think that's more important. Like, we can do an event for buttons, but I think there's an intrinsic, obviously, the more kind of cash flow I've got, the more I can do. And it's not, it's not about money. It's not at all about money, but it's just about giving you guys the best show possible. And obviously I'm quite a frugal person in my personal life, and I've applied the similar kind of model to the convention. And I think when you look at what we do, given the budget we did it on, bearing in mind year one we started with £0, and we ran an 80-person show over 2.5 days with £0, and here we are, 4 years later with, the sum is obviously bigger. It's certainly not £0 anymore, but it's hardly, Gen Con's budget, and we're not Gen Con yet, but so I want to spend time with people and talk to people, and hopefully anyone I did speak to wasn't too upset by my possibly slightly dazed demeanor, because I was running on. I think I had 12 hours sleep over the weekend, maybe 10. And I definitely skipped a few meals, but I did stick to the 3-2-1 rule, which is the 3 hours sleep, 2 meals, one shower. Sorry, definitely have one convention at a convention. Yeah, 3 hours sleep, two meals, 1 shower. You do that every day, and you can survive a convention. And
I think that's actually made a lot easier by the venue you picked for SmogCon. Because I know certainly where I was.
Because it had showers.
Yeah, well, I was literally in the room behind the Iron Arena. So it was sort of like,
okay,
because I'm in the Iron Arena.
Mm-hmm. Some people said it was a bit of a maze, and I can definitely understand that. I think from my point of view, I got to know it back to front. Like, I literally visited that venue once, which was 10 months ago when I saw it. I went down for the initial meeting and was like, yep, I think we can work with this. And then ever since then, I've not stepped foot in the place. And obviously, I've been looking at the maps quite a lot, figuring stuff out. But basically, because
that surprises me.
The way I was...
That surprises me, John. I'd have thought you'd have walked. Literally, I'd have wanted to walk around it a few more times than, when you get to the point of planning where things go. I'm a visual person, I suppose, and I'd want to go and look at it as well. I mean, I'm good at spatial awareness, very good, but
yeah, I just know how things work, I guess. Like because I mean, I'm having a discussion with another hotel about this other thing at the moment, and they're like, "Are you going to come down?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not that I don't need to, and I will eventually, but I can line things up quite nicely in my head, and I've got that gut feel now for what amount of space is required for what, and it's quite funny actually. So I gave the venue all the table numbers that we needed. So we had to have 64 tables in the county suite, which is our main competitive event, and we had to have ideally 48 in the Iron Arena, and so on and so forth. Excuse me, sorry, gentlemen. And one thing I did notice is when I went into the Royal Suite and the County Suite, I was like, we could have fitted more tables in it. But by not doing that, it meant we didn't have, butt-to-butt table fun. It was, everyone had a chair and space in between. And they were like, oh, we don't think we can fit it. And I was like, well, you've got to because you told me you could. I don't care if you start knocking walls out with hammers. You're fitting the number of tables you told me you can fit. And actually, they did it with change. And what's good is this extra space I want to expand into lets me do, like I say, 2.5 comp arenas now, which then helps me. That informs.
Is this the one you said was being refurbished this time?
Yeah. So we couldn't use it this year because they were putting new carpet in, and they literally finished it Wednesday night.
So
and I was
like the new carpet that we almost trashed in the Royal Suite?
I know carpet went into quite a few different rooms, and I think the Royal Suite did look like it was covered in dust bunnies.
Yeah, you can see we were on nearly new carpet.
Yeah.
That place looked like.
I know, Al, you went into the it did a little bit. Al went into the private room, which is where we did all the panels. It's not as exciting as it sounds. It's just, for whatever reason, most of the rooms have got nice names, and then some of them are just like Private Room X. So yeah, Private Room 38.
Nice. Keeping the tone up. Good work.
Keeping the tone up, yeah, absolutely. That used to have like these massive framed portraits on the wall. And I went in on the Thursday. I was like, "Oh, what happened to the portraits?" And they were like, "Oh, we redecorated." And there was new, wallpaper and new carpet and stuff. So, yeah, they are upgrading. And actually, I did a floor walk of the refurbished room. I'd seen it before, but we did a floor walk to talk about the plans for the future. And they were telling me they're actually planning on expanding that room massively even further. And I just have to hope they don't do it before next year, because it's actually pretty much the perfect size. Because what I can fit in there is 64 tables for my second comp space, and then another 32 tables for my third comp space. So the way it will then break down is 128 players stream A, 128 players stream B, and then 32 players, which can then either be split down further. 32 tables, which can be split down further into two 32-man pods, so two 60-man tables. And what that will mean is you will have. So there's not going to be Masters qualifiers anymore, simply because we're at the point where the event is so big and we have so many people attending. It gets really, really awkward to kind of juggle all the different events and stream all the events, and the way things have to run. We had to run to the end of the events this year to award prizes and stuff. We couldn't just go, oh, we're going to top cut and we'll do it later or whatever. Because we're so big now, and people want to play in these marquee events, as I've called them. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe calling them like Warcaster and Journeyman events. I'm not quite sure what the best kind of naming convention is, but I thought that sounded quite cute, and it ties into the War Machine world. So the way it'll work is there's going to be 4 Warcaster in inverted commas or marquee events or whatever, and they're going to be a Masters, just a straight. You don't even have to qualify it. You get a Masters ticket. You get a Masters ticket. A Iron Gauntlet, because they're the two kind of top tier in inverted commas events, and they'll run sort of the Friday and the Saturday, and then a Steamroller for the guys that don't make it into Masters but still want to play Steamroller, and probably either a second Steamroller or a second Masters. I've not decided which way around I'm going to do it. And then what will happen is all those events will top cut after 5 rounds, and then Sunday will be finals days. So obviously the Iron Gauntlet already top cuts, so that's kind of the natural break. So we'll have the top 4 Iron Gauntlet rounds Sunday. Probably we'll top cut to top 4 Masters as well, but we may cut to top 8 just to make it a little bit more interesting, because you don't want that kind of like, oh, Master starts at 8 and it's kind of done by lunchtime, because that does take some of the kind of the excitement of the Sunday away. So I need to play around with the format. Like I say, this is the plan. I just need to finalize the details. But then what I was thinking about doing is, if we run 2 steamrollers, one on the Friday, one on the Saturday, we can top cut to 4 for each one. So that's 5 rounds. And then on Sunday, do like a World Cup knockout with the top 8 players. So see the top 8 players 1 to 8, and then do a semis and a quarters, or a quarters and a semis, whichever way around it is. I don't do the football. I did a football once. It was awesome. But yeah, like, and I just think that, to me, solves some of the problems we've got. And what that means is there will be 500 tickets next year. That is 512 marquee events. Every single person that buys a ticket will buy a ticket with their marquee event ticket attached. And there are more marquee events than there are physically people that can come to the event. So no one can say they don't get an event. And I think that solves all the aggro of this year. And there was some aggro this year, And then what will also then happen is we'll have the third room, which will have a 32-player hardcore, a 32-player spell draft, because I think spell draft went down pretty well this year. It's a pretty awesome format.
Well, John,
and then
some aggro about the events, but very few of them were actually ran completely full.
That's the other thing, and there's sort of 2 or 3 things that I want to say that I hopefully people don't take as me having a go, because I'm not. But I just want to like reinforce some of the things that are just facts, basically. So, yes, all the events sold out ahead of time, and it was a fairly painful week. Anyone who knows me knows that week where event sales went up was pretty miserable for me. I basically came home from work every day and sat in front of the computer and put out fires and placated people and rearranged tickets, added extra events, and just tweaked things. And I totally understand. You've paid for the ticket. You deserve an event. It's not even like a entitlement issue. Like you are 100% deserving of an event for coming out. But having been to conventions, having seen it, I know people drop. And every single event had drops. Some of them had a lot of drops. A lot of them didn't run full. And part of that is the fact we went longer this year, so people were tired and stuff. But also, there's this thing. So you've paid £50 for a Smocon ticket. You want to get ideally £50, if not more, worth of value out of that ticket. I totally get that. But what happens is you're not seeing the bits that you don't realise are of value. So on the first day, I went into the Iron Kingdoms Unleashed event, which was Ron Cruzy, Doug, and Ed talking about Iron Kingdoms Unleashed. And, we probably had about 24 people in there, and it was awesome. It was a really good show. And one of the things I made a point of was going to that to tweet about it, to show people what they were missing. I snuck into the very end of. Yeah. I mean, they all were. And like I stuck into the very end of the concept to model panel, which I've seen before at Gen Con, but I really want to see it again because it's been updated since, and I missed it, and I was gutted because I was doing business, because business is a thing. And the difference from day 1 to day 2 was that one was nearly full, and I think we had 80 seats in there, so probably 50, 60 people had decided, actually, this panel is of worth. Because the thing is, you're never going to get to see that if you're not an event that Privateer are at, and it's not often they're going to be our side of the pond. And so, this is me being a little bit trite, I guess, but I've saved everyone £1,000 because you've not had to fly to Gen Con or Lock and Load. I brought it to you. Now, it's not as big, but I got as many of the ingredients of those events to the UK as possible. So. And I think that's the thing is there's from year 1 people are like, oh, the only thing that matters is comp. The only thing that matters is comp. And each year more and more people are like, actually, comp is really important, and comp is important. And like I said, I'm more than doubling the comp space next year, and there will be guaranteed 1 comp space for every single person, probably 2 for nearly everyone that wants it, and not everybody wants it. But more and more people are starting to see, actually, the point of coming to this convention is to socialize with my friends, see the guys from Privateer Press, pick up some cool swag, have some casual games, do the crazy stuff like Lee's Colossal Mania thing was, and I knew almost nothing about that. He just said, "Oh, can I have some space?" And I was just like, "Yeah, sure, knock yourself out. I don't know what you're doing, but as long as it's clean, you carry on." And that looked like it went down a storm. And I think as we keep going through, as we keep going through iterations of the convention.
You said about the comp, but that Iron Arena was rammed for 3 days, pretty much solidly, that Iron Arena was utterly rammed. People were like, "There's no tables." I'm like, "Well, there's another room. If you go down there, down the corridor, up the steps, there's another room over there." I mean, you go and look at Newbury 2, where the second Iron Arena was. That was mostly full as well, especially all day Saturday. Massive amount of people just playing casual games.
Yeah, and it's and that's good, because that's like the first time I said to people, "Oh, we're going to have casual space," they're like, "So what? Like, why do I want to come to a convention to play casual games?" And as time has gone on, people started to see the value of it, and there is a value of it, you know, that's just as important. And in a perfect world, I would literally cut the convention in half and be like, this half is casual, this half is comp, knock yourselves out. And it's about finding a venue. And unfortunately, the venue I found that I could do that in was £100,000, which I cannot afford. It's just not going to happen. So I'm trying to find other ways of getting. I was mind slightly blown when I was quoted that number, because it's not even a particularly nice venue. I mean, it is, but it's not a hotel. And I was like, maybe next time.
We'll put you on the
yeah,
mailing
like
list.
so, you know, yeah, maybe 10 years down the road when this is something big, who knows? But yeah. You know, because if I've got 256 tables comp and 256 tables casual, that's 512 players, which is 12 more than we've got coming for next year. So that means there is no time that you can't find a table that's free, which I think is the best I can do. Like, it's one of those things, like, the only way I could do better is to have literally 1,000 tables, and 500 of them would be in Iron Arena and 500 would be in comp, so that if you decide to drop from comp, there's a free Iron Arena table for you. But that is not a viable model if you actually think about it.
No.
So hopefully no one's sitting there going, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a really good idea, John." We don't have the scenery, we don't have the tables. There certainly isn't a venue big enough, and it is, you know, 50% of that event would be useless. It would actually look a bit empty and sad. So, you know, and once you add in the board game area, which was fantastic this year, we'll talk about that in a minute, and the panels and the store, and, you know, all, just chilling out with your mates in the bar. Actually, you don't need one table per person forever. You just need to make sure there's enough that people don't have to wait days for a game. And I mean, you know, if we are back at the Radisson next year, we will have every single sensible comp space event space they've got. Now, I did some numbers today. I need 1,500 pieces of scenery between now and next year.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
So that's going to be an interesting challenge. Yeah, that's where it gets interesting. So one of the things with this summer brawl that I've announced, like, the point of it is it's kind of a fundraiser a little bit to, you know, is to put on an amazing show. And, you know, if you've gone through the SmogCon experience, it's not going to be SmogCon. I mean, it is. I mean, I've kind of created a brand here. I mean, it's a very, you know, I don't do normal things, so it's not, you know, I'm not going to be selling SmogCon trainers in the next few years. But, you know, I mean, like, you know, there is some value associated to that name now. And
branded steampunk costumes.
Brand recognition, yeah.
Branded steampunk.
Give it time.
Surely, John. Yeah.
Give it time. It will happen eventually, I'm sure. If nothing else, we may have the Johnny Bones model by next year. The Johnny Bones model has been started.
Yeah, that being sculpted.
So,
we'll
see. I need to.
Russ working on that.
Yeah, and I don't think people knew. We actually had 2 privacy press sculptors in the building this year. Dave Kidd was about as well. No, it was one of those really awful things. Like, he got in touch through Ron and was like, "Oh, you know, do you mind if I come down?" I was like, "Sure, you're a PP sculptor. Knock yourself out, you know." And he's like, "Do you mind if I bring my girlfriend?" I was like, "Go crazy, friend." And I barely got to talk to the guy. He sort of came up, knocked on my door, kind of like timidly. I was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Dave." I was like, "Dave, awesome. I will probably not see you again. Have an amazing convention. But it's really nice to meet you, and I hope I get to talk to you properly in the future." I think he's done Resnick on the Battle Wagon, it seems like, and 2 of the Convergence casters. He did Axis, and
I have to admit, when he arrived, I had no idea who he was. I mean, Ross turns up, and I'm like, "Ross!" And but I had no idea who he was. So he came up to talk to us at the main desk, and I'm like, "Yeah, I can tell you where John is roughly. I think he's down there." But I don't know. I was like, no idea who he is. It's not like, yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. There was quite a few people were there. Like, Bob had brought some of the guys over, so like Ulysses were there, who were the German distributor, the French distributor were there, and obviously that was kind of nothing to do with me, and so there was all sorts of business deals going down and little sneaky conversations being had, because, you know, there's all sorts of things going on, and I get the sort of tail end of it. Like every time I hear a little snippet of information, I think, oh, I'll file that away under I for interesting. So yeah, lots of stuff was happening in and around me, and it's nice just to be able to facilitate that really, because all that does is help grow the community for everyone. And it sounds really soppy, and people who know me know this isn't really what I'm about, but this is a community event, and it only works if the community gets on board. It only works if the community comes out to help me run it. I'm just the idiot that loses sleep over putting the pieces together during the year, and then on the day it's just kind of like a toy, and you wind it up and let it go, and just hope the spring doesn't run out before we get to the end of the weekend. And touch wood, nothing's gone horribly wrong yet. So that's pretty cool.
Well, before we go any further, there have been a couple of questions that have come in for you.
Yes, I like questions. Ask me some questions.
First of all, we have Dave Payton, who says,
I know Dave.
Yeah, can John Webb actually get to play a few games of War Machine next time? Can we see him versus Ed Burrell?
So, as anyone who's been following along knows, I have yet to roll a dice in anger at SmogCon in 4 years. I played one game of a board game last year, and that is it. So it would be nice. I mean, I don't put on the show to come and play Toy Soldiers all weekend long. That's not really what I'm there for. But what I will say is, I have, and I think this isn't just me, a lot of people have been really revitalized by SmogCon this year.
Yep.
Because it's that, not just comp, but because there's always different things like, I mean, yeah, Kurt, you and I have been in semi-retirement, shall we say?
Yeah.
And I kept saying to people, SmogCon kind of is my hobby now. And it, part of it is I do it so that I can keep in touch with the community and see friends and catch up with old friends and stuff. I say catch up with old people then. I suppose Comet is there, so that technically. We love him really. We love him.
Let's not forget Nick.
And Nick,
as being old, yes, clearly.
Sure. But yeah, I would like to play one game next year. I'm going to set a challenge that I will play one game. If it's against Burrell or a member of private press staff, sure. I mean, we'll see what happens. I have now secured myself a pirate army. So those of you who know me know I like pirates. I've been playing with Lego pirates since year dot, and as I said to my girlfriend tonight, there's a new range of Lego pirates coming out. I think we might have to invest. And I keep looking at the metal beard ship from the Lego movie, and I'm like, we don't have space for it in the house. It's about £300, but it's so awesome, and it's got Lego beard, metal beard, as he's a man with a shark for a hand. I mean, come on, it's so cool. Yeah, he's like Karchev the Lego Shark Pirate. That would be a good conversion, actually. So I've bought this pirate army, and I'm going to desperately try and get my pirate army built and painted by next year.
See,
50 points.
Whole army in 12 months.
People are mentioning
whole army in 12 months.
People are mentioning faction changes for casters. It's actually not going to be Karchev to Cricks. It's going to be Karchev to Pirates.
Well, maybe. I mean, stick a pirate hat on him, it'll be fine. Yeah, it's a big shout, Kurt, because I don't paint so fast, and the trouble is these days a lot of my painting is for other people, which kind of gets in the way of me painting for myself. But I feel energized. I'm heading down the club for the first time in quite a while. Last year was a really, really difficult year for me. Just before SmogCon, I left my job for 3 years, where I was working in film and supposedly having an amazing time and actually having a terrible time. And it's quite interesting because the Oscars just happened, and the same old bullshit surrounding the visual effects industry went down, and I saw this awful story about Double Negative, the company I used to work for, has kind of been bought by, but also at the same, it's a really odd situation. They have been bought by while simultaneously now own Prime Focus, who are not the nicest company on the planet, and so they won the Oscar for Interstellar for VFX, and everyone was like, oh yeah, Prime Focus, this Indian-based film company wins the Oscar for Interstellar. It was like, no, that was all done in London by Double Negative. That's really awkward, and it just sucks for all the artists who, because I used to do 12-hour days, and I was nothing compared to some of the hardcore guys that were in there, and it's just, so I left that world, and I was sad to go, but it just crushed me. So I was coming out of that, and I was just getting very tired and very old and very grumpy. So I've been away from the game a little bit. Like I've still kept, I went to the ETC to help, and a couple of little events here and there, like local events. But I've been off the boil, shall we say? But SmogCon's really kind of revitalized me to get back in hard. And I just want to, I don't want to take the game competitively seriously anymore, because I'm never going to be a Masters winner. Like, even in Mark 1, I was a good player at Mark 1, but I wasn't the best player.
Mark 1. Nice.
I once won an event. I did place first in an event. I've got my one gold card Morton Ebra list, because I think everyone that played Cricks has a Morton Ebra gold card if they've ever won an event. But yeah, so I was like, what can I do to get me back on the wagon hard? And it's always good to try new things. So like, I had half a pirate list because I had the Denny pirate boat, and I was like, if I just put Denny to bed and stop with the filthy crick and play pirates instead. A, it works for me because I love pirates. B, it covers up my ineptitude because obviously mercs are not a real faction and they're not competitive, allegedly. So I can cover up my terrible play by just saying, it's because I play mercs, I'm a soft player. And I just think, taking a new faction, it's a refreshing change. I've got to learn how it all works again. And yeah, I think it will just really, help me enjoy life, dare I say it again. And this weekend I've just come back with so much energy and haven't stopped emailing people about SmogCon and other things, because there are other things afoot. Just to really kind of strike whilst the kind of the iron's hot, or capture that energy and really push it to all elements of my life. Because otherwise I think I was just gonna spiral into a dark place. So that's been quite nice. I'll hopefully be out with the pirates soon. I'll build them first.
Obviously, you're eventually going to paint them, and that kind of leads on to another question.
Yes.
This time by me.
Okay.
Next year, are we going to see either the return of speed painting or an iron painter event?
Speed painting.
Okay, I wanted to do both because they're sort of linked. I had the stuff with me to do the speed painting, and the problem is that, as you said, that venue had new carpet in it. And the last thing I wanted was a paint explosion, and then me paying for a new carpet, because that would be the end of SmogCon, because that would ruin us financially. So now that we've got Bob didn't bring it because that's what we had last year. Now that we know a bit more about the space, we can look at maybe the Newbury suite, because that obviously has the tiles and the wood, so probably a bit easier to clean.
Good light.
And we can definitely, because I like speed painting, and yeah, fantastic light. I mean, it was quite funny. Like, so the idea was Ron was going to be up in the Royal Suite, and he kind of mooched around in the morning, and was like, yeah, this ain't going to happen, and he ended up in the Newbury Suite, and that actually worked out really well because it was quieter.
Credit was due. It was Law.
Lighter.
Ron was kind of moping and kind of scuffing his feet and looking around, going, it's a bit dark, and Law was like, why not the Newbury Suite? When I go see it, just play to it's Law Edwards, isn't it? Yeah. That was that man.
Yeah. So it was really good, and I think we'll kind of build on that. And there's a few things we need to tweak with the Newbury Suite anyway, but that space worked really well for what we used it for. I was disappointed, because we had a koi pond and a waterfall, and I thought there was going to be some LARPing going on up there. Aaron was running the IK RPG next to the waterfall, and I was like, why did no one end up in the pond? He says some dice may have ended up in the pond, so I hope the fish didn't eat them. But no one kind of abseiled down the waterfall and fought some fish goblins and stuff. So I was a bit, come on guys, I've given you the best possible place to really run. It's not quite a true dungeon, but give it a whirl. But yeah, we can do more with that space, and obviously this was the first year of really having that. We had a dedicated board game space last year, but this year we had the board game library and all the board game events, and we had a lot of board game events, and it was. We had 8 players for the Monster Apocalypse Masters at one point, which is crazy for an allegedly dead game. I think it may have dropped to 6 because 2 of those may have been privateered by staff.
I finished in the top 6 I finished in the top 6 Monprop players in the country.
I mean, that's pretty impressive, Kurt.
I know.
Because when was the last time you played Monpok?
Prior to that, about a year and a half before, at least. Yeah. It's pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, so
I really enjoyed that.
We're going to build on that, and yeah, it was good to see it really, because we I think a lot of the people that have been involved in Pokemon over the years have a kind of a love of Monpok, shall we say?
Yeah.
So it's good to keep supporting, even though it's currently on, I don't know, hiatus, I guess,
Extended
long-term hiatus, dare I say it. It's good to play it because it's kind of fun. So yeah, next question, please. Sorry.
Okay, the next question is from Jonathan Pickles, and he
I
asks,
know Jonathan Pickles.
Yeah, is it true you influenced PP into designing Pokemon-inspired gargantuans?
So, funny story. When I joined the press gang, way back in the mist of time, it was about 5 years ago now, the quartermaster was a guy called Biggie. I think his name's Dan Brand, I want to say. Sorry? No, not Kevin Clark. No. I'm pretty sure it's Dan Brand. And he goes by the name Biggie, and he left the press gang to become the organized play master for the Pokemon company. So he does all their cards, OP, and stuff like that. So I always thought that was quite cute. Scorn are obviously the Pokemon faction because they've got all the beasts and evolved beasts, and they've literally got it now because they've got the little nippy swarmy things, and then the are they called the Ardus? Is that what the buggy men's are called? And possibly the Hydra now. So that is like your 3 Pokemon evolution. Like you start off as Nipper, and then you evolve into Death Toll Spitter thing, and then you evolve into like Uber Hydra, my head monster. So it's they are the and I think I've even seen a Scorn that had Pokemon base markings because you paint one half of the base red and one half white, and then you've got a Pokeball. So that's cute. Did I inspire them to do it? No. Would I like to have seen a Pokemon Monster Apocalypse expansion? Hell yeah, because Pokemon scale in a very interesting way. The base level Pokemon tend to be very, very small in comparison. I mean, some of them are literally insects, although they're larger than any insect you've ever seen in our world, so they would be horrifying to see. And I thought it would be really cute. You can make the popcorn the kind of the base level Pokemon, and then make the kind of the monsters the larger, top tier evolutions. Because who doesn't want to see like Totodile smashing apart a city? So yeah, no, but I wish I could.
See, I like how you didn't go for the most obvious one, which was Zapdos.
Oh, well, so I did have that conversation as well. Can we get 3 of those in a list and do the Ondos Trace trio, which is Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres? For those of you who don't know, look at the end of their name. It's 1, 2, 3 in like Spanish. And there's a lot of that in Pokemon. Like, I don't know if you knew, this may blow your mind, but Ecans, yeah, that's snake backwards.
I bet Arbok there.
So
that's Cobra backwards, isn't it?
I was born in the wrong decade for this conversation.
Well, how old are you now, Kurt?
I should be 42, not the distant future.
Okay, yeah, fine, yes.
Yeah, it was a little game when I was.
Well, it came out when I was finishing senior school, and I was like, that Pikachu looks like a douche. And then I got to university, and I was like, Pokemon is amazing! And
My
basically
kids
spent
love
my
it.
university years. Yeah. If I had kids, I'm sure they'd love it too, but instead I'm just a big kid. I need to talk to Russ, because I need to get the Johnny Bones peg leg on the model to have a kind of a vague fish, koi, stroke, dragon-y tattoo kind of carved into it. Not for any real reason, but
Well,
some of you may have seen my leg.
He's already on that model, sculpting in another unique part of the convention experience, in that there is going to be a sack tumbling forth with Bob Dollar.
Yep, Bob Dollar is going to be on the base, or a chest, or a sack of Bob Dollar. There's going to be a sort of steampunky mechanical crow on his shoulder. He's got a ridiculously big hat, because you've got to have the biggest hat to be the best pirate, I believe. That's what Pirates of the Caribbean, which is my kind of style Bible, taught me.
You have Link's shield somewhere as well?
Yeah, and also... Say that again?
Link's shield somewhere as well?
Well, we've got to be IP neutral.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a bit too obvious, isn't it? Yeah.
So,
it's a bit too... Oh dear, we got sued.
Well,
yeah.
We do have one further question as well.
Okay, fire away.
From John Chan, or as he was renamed over the weekend, John Chan.
Okay.
Will there be a bigger selection of dice?
Oh no! I mean, it's dice. Jesus.
So So, Jun Chan did bully me into giving him some special dice, but he is a friend, so I'll let it slide. This year we had the gold, silver, and bronze smog dice, as ever. The attendee dice, which were blue, because blue was the. I don't know if you noticed, blue was the color this year. Like we had blue lanyards and blue dice, and blue was the color on the website. So that was pretty clever. And we also had the green swirly staff dice. The only issue with dice is I love them. I can't move for smog on dice. I had to give Ed Burrell a huge bag of smog dice to take back to Privateer, which is quite funny because anyone that was at Gen Con, what year was the IK RPG released? 2013 maybe?
Something
Maybe
like that.
2012, one of the two. I had a bag of white smog dice and I was giving them out to random Americans in the PPQ, just being like, here, you don't know who I am, I'm from a different country to you, but have a cool dice. And I wonder how many of them still have those dice and are like, what the hell is this? But yeah, so Ed Burrell took, I think, the dregs of last year's yellow dice, because I had a few of them left. The only issue being, when I order them, I get caned on import tax every time, because the Rommel hates me and camps my account, and they stop everything coming my way. So until I can find a UK provider or an EU provider of dice, then it's a bit awkward, because, you know, I ordered probably about 1,500 blue dice this year, and probably maybe 200 staff dice, maybe more.
All I can say on that one
and then we
is
had the
it's not
Iron Arena
Cadre
dice. Yeah, I mean, I know about Kev's supplier. There are possibilities. I'm always looking. It would be nice to have dice for everything. We'll certainly have attendee dice again. We'll certainly have staff dice. We're one color off doing the kind of the 5-color rainbow in staff dice now, and I want to get to the point. You know, the 5-year plan. Part of the 5-year plan was to have a rainbow of dice. Don't ask me why. I just thought it was cute. So we need yellow staff dice, and then we've got, you know, red, blue, green, yellow, and orange, which is kind of cute. Yeah, I do like dice. I mean, you know, the point behind the dice one was they were kind of I mean, they weren't cheap because we bought so many of them, but a cheapish thing that's kind of got a little bit of like cute factor about it. Last year we obviously had dice for everything, and there was lots of different ways of winning dice in different colors. The other problem being we're running out of Chessex dice flavors. They have only so many colors and styles, and we are nearing the end of what they can offer us, so that's tricky as well. But yeah, we'll definitely have at least 3 colors, which will be staff, Iron Arena, and attendee. And I'll try and do more. Quite what they'll be.
John, next you need to move into the Chessex Gemini series. So they're 2-color dice.
Is that not what the staff dice are? Or are they? No, they're Vortex, actually, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll look into it. But it's always about making sure they fit vaguely with the theme. So this theme was that kind of greeny blue. But yeah, there's always going to be dice. Dice are very much a part of SmogCon. So why not?
Good.
Good.
More dice.
We did a dice. Yeah, and John, stop nicking all my staff dice. But he did say he's going to come and work for me next year, so we'll let that slide.
He was at that desk. I don't know how often, trying to black dice constantly. I was like, get away.
That's all good. So what's next?
Well, the one
questions. There was a
largely they seem to be ones from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Well, I don't answer them because I've worked for Games Workshop, and when you work for Games Workshop, you never wish to discuss Python again. It's just a thing, I'm afraid. It's basically every time you get that new wave of new gamers, and they're like, hey, I saw this film, and you're like, oh yeah, and they're like, oh, it's amazing, it's really funny, and you're like, yeah, what is it, Monty Python Holy Grail? They're like, yeah, there's this bit right with these knights who say, and you're like, yeah, I've seen it, it's a really funny film, but and they just go on and on at you. And it's adorable, and it's great, and it's passionate. It's like when people tell you about their roleplay character, you're like, I'm so happy for you, I just
want you to go away.
Don't need to have this conversation with you. No, because it's great when people are passionate, and but it's that thing of like, yeah, we get it, Python's funny, we've all seen the film, move on to something else. There was one about Conan, and the answer is to hear the lamenting of the women and see your enemies scattered before you or something. I think I put that the wrong way around. So that's the answer to that one. Any more serious questions?
No, that I'm afraid that is it from the
No.
questioning arena.
Oh dear. Well, that's cute. That's the first time I've been asked questions on a podcast, so I'm quite happy about that. I signed 2 signatures this weekend as well, which is just ridiculous. I mean, come on, who am I? I'm nobody, but it was quite cute.
Well, several years of
so
boot damage followed by a convention.
Yeah, I guess as long as people would rather hear me than see me, I suppose. So that's the thing. But and I have to say, unfortunately, my beard had to be trimmed off for my return to work. So I'm actually looking a little bit less hobo again now. Still rocking the beard, but not quite as hobo chic. Although I will never match up to the Pickles because he has the most incredible beard.
There are things.
It's like a badger just lives on his face.
Things live in
well, I
that
don't
beard
need to
quite
know
long.
about that. I don't need to know about that. But
Pickles, Radagast Pickles.
yeah.
Then you
like
get your
pickles.
pickles confused, and it all gets confusing.
There are 2 Pickles, and that is a thing.
I freaked someone out explaining that to them. Oh, it's Barry. I freaked Barry out, going, "You know that he's a pickle as well." And he's like, "No." It's very good.
Guys, there are no yellow vortex dice with Chessex. We can't finish the rainbow. We're going to have to jump straight to purple.
Ooh.
I'm kind of devastated right now.
Little piece of you just
Bad.
died.
There's
Some other yellow variation within.
there's black with yellow numbers. Sorry?
Is there another yellow variation within Chessex? Like scarab? There's no scarab yellow, is there? There are other kind of
No, there's yeah, but all the staff dice have always been vortex.
Right. Okay.
That's how you know it's a staff dice, because it's swirly and cool.
Mm.
So yeah, we might have to go purple and gold this year whilst I beat Chessex into doing new colours.
Swirly and gold.
So it's a fun game with Chessex. You phone them up and go, "Have you got any dice?" And they're like, "Which ones do you need?" "No, sorry, we don't have those available." And it's like they order at the start of the year and then just never order any more dice in.
We can have
So,
those, but all the logos
that's
will be
fun.
on the 1.
Well, that's the bronze dice. For the last 2 years, the bronze dice have mostly, and I've tried to fish all the good ones out, but we may be running low on the good ones. So yes, some of the bronze dice are
So
the
I need to
wrong
hang on to my
side
year
is
1.
the 6.
I need to hang on to my year 1 bronze dice then because I won one.
Year 1 and 2 are right. Half of year 3 and 4 are right. So that's good. But yeah.
See, I have bronze dice in both
Any
flavors.
more? Excellent. What have you been doing to earn bronze dice in both flavors?
Well, one of them was for actually coming third in a tournament when it was a firestorm, so that was good. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
other one you gave to me at one point.
Oh, that was nice of me.
I got third. I got third in the hardcore at the first ModCon.
That's pretty good.
It's about as good as it gets for me.
Well, okay, John. Seeing as at this point you are ready to fall asleep on the microphone.
Fall
there,
over, correct. Yep.
I think it might be time to let you go into the land of Nod, as it were. So
Yeah.
it's been
All right.
lovely
Well,
having you on.
yes, it's lovely to be. It's been a while. It's not the first time I've been on the show, and hopefully it won't be the last. And obviously thanks to all 3 of you, because you all played a huge part. I mean, it was good to see Kurt out working for us this year, because I think that was your first time, wasn't it?
It was. It was very good.
Although you
I
wanted to
enjoyed
chip
that.
in.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that a lot.
You might be thinking about being a press ganger now.
I
Is this
have
correct?
Signal Battlebox on my desk being
Mm.
painted right now for that purpose.
Excellent.
Heard it here
Yes,
first.
and I went and saw Bob. I went and saw Bob just to talk to him about the whole kind of
Mm.
the slightly greedy element of credit for being there. And the guy knew who I was, what I was going to talk about. He cut me off and told me everything I was about to tell him. So I wondered. So a variety of whether it was you or Alex,
Dude,
or
your connection is terrible. I'm sorry.
or Buxton.
We're
or,
getting like 1 in every 3 words.
Is that just him or is that you as well, Mike?
He's coming through perfectly here.
Yeah, and it's
You're
recording.
wrong on it, all right.
Really,
Yeah.
that's so strange. I literally heard 1 in every 3 words you just said.
No, I was just astounded that Bob knew
Turns
who I
out
was.
London really does hate the West Country. Yeah, Bob knows everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cool. I think we'll probably make use of you, and hopefully you guys. Like, it's one of those really awful things that if you come and work, you kind of don't get a convention out of it. And, we tried to do it 2 days on, 1 day off. But, of course, you guys are just insane and just go, no, I don't want a day off. I just want to keep working.
I had evenings off.
Well,
So
we're
that's the
already
thing.
middle of the plan for the Iron Arena IT system for next year.
Yep. We've already been talking about it.
It's coming along nicely.
Excellent. It's all good.
Good
yeah,
stuff.
no, I'm up for it again.
That's a good thing.
John, I enjoyed it more working. I enjoyed it more working. I got much more out of it. It was much more rewarding. I came away much happier.
Yeah. It's
I didn't get
kind
the
of fun
feeling
being the other side of it, isn't it? Like,
It is, but I didn't get that feeling of entitlement. So you spend 50 quid in it, you spend your hotel room, you spend all this money, and that breeds a sense of entitlement, in me at least anyway, and actually coming in and going, right, let's just do things for other people is much more satisfying. Way more satisfying.
Yeah, and I'm glad you feel that way, because it wouldn't happen without that mentality. So the more people that kind of can do that, and obviously we get looked after. In a perfect world, I would pay for everyone's hotel rooms. We're not quite in that world yet. And I mean, that's one thing I wanted to say. This was the second of the things where I was like, listen to Johnny, does kind of know what he's talking about. So, number one, you get into the events you want, and obviously I'm fixing it for next year, so there's no choice. Number two, and this is going to sound a little bit self-serving, but hear me out, and it will make sense. So, not everyone who came to the event stayed in the hotel, or if they did, they bed shared. And that's totally fine, and I know why people do it, because I did it at Lock and Load. There were 5 of us in a 2-bedroom room, I want to say, and it was great because it was me and 4 guys from Nintendo who I'd never met before just sharing this bed, and it was just crazy. So I've done it myself, and I know it's about cost of the hotel because it's not cheap, and it's about making the event work for you and stuff. If we'd have sold 30 more beds, bearing in mind we sold 170, so the average is 2 beds per room if you average the 3s and the 1s out. So that was what's that? That's 170. It's 170 plus 100, so 270 people, and there were 400 people at that event. So theoretically, 130 people. Bearing in mind this doesn't also include staff, didn't buy hotel rooms. It's not quite that, but it's balances out to roughly that. If we'd have sold those 30 more rooms, the price of the venue drops, and what that then means is I can put that money back into the convention. So like I'm saying, I need 1,500 more pieces of scenery. I need more of those mats that people used on the tables. I need more prize support. I need more and more stuff. I will get that if people do stay in a hotel room, and obviously you get breakfast out of it, so it brings some of the cost down. It's the difference, like you said, Mike, your bedroom was just behind the Iron Arena, so when you finish a really long day and you're quite tired and you need a shower, you don't have to then walk down the road to another venue or take a small car ride to whereversville. And like, I get it, not everyone can afford it, and some people have said it is expensive. Now I agree, but my argument is it's value for money. And when you add it, I mean, I did it tonight. I put the thing up about this summer event, and I said, this is going to sound expensive. It's £150, but break down your average tournament weekend. It's not actually any more expensive, or if it is, it's 10, 15 quid. So you buy one less box of models one week, or smoke one less box of cigarettes or whatever. And what that then lets me do is put all the money back into the event to make it even better for everyone, and just tidy up all those little loose ends that are just letting us down slightly. And obviously scenery is the big one for me because I'm about to add a huge amount. So that's not me saying give me money. It's me saying do yourself a favor, make the event better for you by staying on site. And I mean, next year there shouldn't be any problem because we're adding 100 extra tickets, which will obviously convert into extra bed sales and whatever. But it really is that thing of like, it's in your interest to stay on site, because not only does it make it better for you, breakfast was awesome. Like, we were talking tonight, like we had smoked salmon and pancakes for breakfast. Like, how many events can you say, oh yeah, and then I had smoked salmon before I played a game of War Machine? Like, that's pretty bonkers. The flexibility of being able to leave stuff in your room. I mean, so the first year at Gen Con, we stayed in the the Sheraton Suites, I want to say it was, and they're only like a 7-minute walk away from the venue. But the difference between that and then the second year where we stayed in the I think it's the Big Blue Radisson. I think it's a Radisson, and that's literally connected to Gen Con by a sky bridge. You know, that little amount of time, and like, you know, we were there and we were like, oh, you know, it's coming up to lunchtime, we just need to drop our stuff off. We'll just run back to the hotel. Whereas before it was like, oh, the hotel room's so far away, even though it's not, that I can't be bothered to go there. It just makes your convention easier because it means you can stay up later playing. It means you can, you know, drop for a quick booze or a shower or whatever at any time. And then it will also help you because it will let me do more for the event rather than giving money to the hotel, because they're already getting enough money out of you for the food and the beds. I mean, I crunched the numbers, and the hotel did incredibly well out of us all this weekend, and I appreciate the hotel prices are a little bit steep. There's only so much I can do about that. You know, they were giving us a discount, and again, you know, look at it as value for money. And also,
you said about drinking as well, so I know you don't drink,
yeah.
But you said about the
I don't drink, so it didn't affect me quite.
No, but if you're on site, it doesn't matter about alcohol. You can have as many beers as you want. Well, drink responsibly, but have as many beers as you want, and you haven't got to worry about driving anywhere, getting anywhere else. How many pints were consumed of the weekend? Didn't you tweet something about that, John?
I didn't. Someone did. Someone said something. They figured it out, and I was kind of blown away by it. But yeah, and I mean, you know, it's no, I don't think it did.
Okay.
Bearing in mind, Alex was tweeting under the SmogCon account as well, so it could be that Al tweeted that.
I may have retweeted something.
I think very
someone tweeted about it.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, certainly. Yeah. Sorry, Al.
I think someone tweeted that it was something like 8,000 pints over the weekend.
Yeah. That's what I saw.
8,000 was that? I mean, that's kind of crazy, given that there was only 400 people there.
Yeah,
that's a lot of pints.
Where's 20
and
pints
it's one of the things
over 3 nights? Yeah.
Sure, per person. That's pretty mad. You know, one of the things I'm going to do is talk to the hotel and be like, okay, can you maybe, because I know there was nothing on draft, was there? Everything was bottled. So I'm going to say, well, maybe as a special, you buy in some kegs and we do some draft beer.
Some of the beer was draft.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Lager was
well,
draft, yeah.
I mean,
lager was draft. There was no cider.
I'm out of the
draft,
game. I
but
don't drink anymore. But no, there was no cider on tap, which is just ridiculous. You know.
I switched to lager.
But yeah, you know, it's all that kind of stuff. Now that we've got that initial relationship, we can start to fix up all those little bits. And you know, I don't want people being passed out drunk at SmogCon. It's not what I'm about. I didn't have to throw anyone out. There were 2 instances I had to have, you know, a quiet word with people, but on the whole, everyone was incredibly well behaved. So thank you for that. And it is that thing, you know, I want people to have a good time, and I know alcohol is a social lubricant. I've certainly used it to that effect myself in the past. I did, you know, say social there just to reiterate that. But it's there's being happy drunk, and then there's being an idiot, and I think everyone stayed the right side of the line. And I don't want people to go the wrong side of the line, but I also want people to have a good time. So if I can organise, you know, a draft in, I mean, it would be fantastic. It's not going to happen, but you know, every year at Gen Con, the Ram does a special privateer press ale, and they do the you know, the uncorking, or the tapping rather, the night before Gen Con, and I've been down twice for it, and it's really cool. The guys from PP get together and they tap this keg, and you know, everyone that wants it gets a kind of a glass of the special privateer press branded ale. So yeah, you know, like all the original sets of convention exclusive models were the ales. So like I was there for the Bombardier Bombshell and the no, I tell a lie. I was there for the Druid Gone Wilder, which I think was like a light ale.
They were the same year.
And then the models were the same year. The beers weren't.
Oh, okay.
They did the models the year after, because the original one was the Iris one, and they never did a special edition Iris. Then they did the Bombardier Bombshell, didn't release the beer, and then they did the Druid Gone Wilder and released both beers the same year. Released both models rather to match the beers. And I think now they're doing it going forward, although I'm not entirely sure because I wasn't there this year, sadly. I would like to be there every year, but again, it's that.
I mean, we've got the Steel Soul Keg Protector and the Blighted Bather, I think.
Yes.
Sure. So that was maybe the last 2 because I wasn't at the last 2. Yeah. So it's cute, and you know, if we could get a special, you know, SmogCon, I don't know what it'd be like. It'd be like probably rebottled Black Rat, and it would be like Johnny Bones's bilge water or something, because anyone that's ever drunk Black Rat knows how horrifically nasty. It's a bit of a West Country speciality, isn't it, Kurt?
Yeah, I don't want to touch it.
You know you're in trouble when your cider has the consistency of scrambled egg. That's never a good sign. But allegedly they make it by essentially killing things, putting them in cider, and then burying them in the ground for a few years, and that pretty much is how it tastes. So it's a pretty horrific drink. But
how do I get
it's a
out
West
of
Country
right now?
special.
I'm just like, yeah, well, I'm in the wrong county. It's not good. They make good cider and they make horrendous cider, all in the same place.
Yeah. Just drink Thatcher's, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's on the road.
So there you go. That was our vague ramble through the world of SmogCon, and I'd imagine we'll do it all again next year because it was incredible fun. Like, I think, it's like every year, year one's always going to be special because it was the first year and it was amazing to even pull it off. But this year, does feel like the best year, because it was the real tipping point for me, and the year of PP, the fact we were, the official UK PP convention was pretty cool, and having PP on site.
It just felt, regardless of numbers, which were big, it just felt so much bigger this year on every single scale.
Yeah, and we're going to grow it. I mean, there is a point where I will stop growing it because, without a justification, infinite growth is pointless. But next year I'm going to do 500, because I think that's a good number to stop at. It feels good, if that makes sense. And I mean, you can blame Bob for the 400. It was supposed to be 300 this year, and Bob was like, "I reckon you could do another 100." And I was like, "Yeah, okay," because that gives us, originally we didn't have the Newbury suite, and I think adding that did add quite a lot to the event. Surprisingly, when I sort of crunched the numbers, I was like, "Oh, I don't know," but actually, I'm glad we did it. And it, getting everything we could possibly get that weekend and making the kind of making that use of the venue. And I don't think they get many events that do that. I mean, I know there's a comic book convention up there that's probably on a similar scale, so they're not completely unused to it, but they didn't know what hit them. When we rocked up Thursday night and started laying everything out, they were like,
See, I don't know, the staff attitude changed, and the other patrons were kind of quite bemused by what was going on. It's like, what on earth's all this? But the staff were very happy, very happy. You got in Saturday, and suddenly they started all bored of it all, didn't they? They were all a bit kind of, how much longer is this going on for?
Yeah.
See, if only Bob had applied the same logic that sort of, took you into the Newbury suite to the amount of copies of Unleashed that he got with him. Because apparently...
that's between you and Bob.
No, apparently he could have had a lot more. And he
I did hear that.
He did
and there could have been a lot more pins as well.
That's all me. Sorry. So
yeah, well, I mean, we didn't know. We just didn't know. This is the first time we've done pre-release. It's the first time we've done pins. So we had to say, let's be conservative, because the last thing we wanted was to have, a million pins, products, whatever, sat around not being sold. It's something we can build on. And like I said, I don't have any power of that at all. I just give Bob a room and say, there's your store, go crazy.
Just seeing the queue in that hallway of people that had been there since God.
Well, there you go. That's another kind of UK first. It wasn't quite the Gen Con IKRPG release line, which was the year they nearly broke Gen Con, but the guys got there from like maybe 5-6 in the morning, and they queued, and we had to have like a 4-person in, 4-person out kind of thing. And it was, that real first taste of that sort of crazy passion for like the new releases, and people are buying this, go, I don't even know why I'm buying this, but it's part of the experience, and it's just, it's and I was like, pins, whatever pins, and then they were like, oh, Chibi Pirates, and I was like, Chibi Pirates, you say? And sure enough, I now have 2 Chibi Pirates on my lanyard and another pin, and you guys will be receiving the other pin in the near future, so there may be a pin for you all as well that's on its way. We shall see.
I've got a Chibi Karchev, and that just makes me happy.
It's funny that it is the chibi ones that people went for as well. But I know we're supposed to be wrapping this up, but I couldn't believe, I'd seen the pins because they were at Lock and Load, but No, they weren't. No, they weren't. It was the year after they did the pins. But I'd seen the pins anyway, but I hadn't quite figured the scale out. I thought they were going to be like, little
Some of them were very big.
like the
They were
little,
huge, weren't they? Some of them.
yeah,
The big
the
Warjack and
Vortex
these
and the
big ones.
Warbeast
Yeah.
were huge. And that really surprised me because I was expecting, the Warjacks to be the size of the people and the people to be sort of half that size. And instead, like, the people were like about 2 inches across, maybe. And then the Warjacks are like 3 to 5 inches, which is pretty hardcore for a pin. So that was fun, and I can't wait to see what we can do in the future. I mean, obviously, I'd quite like a Smog-On pin. That would be kind of cool. We'll see what happens. Like, I gotta, I'm waiting for PP to kind of start the wall of text that I sent. I had a great email. I'm gonna do another shout. I keep doing a shout out, but Plumber, like, people need to like just high five Plumber because he has been the guy at Privateer that kind of did the stuff that happened. Obviously, different people at Privateer have been involved at different stages, and it's gone, through legal and through the initial contact and everything. But Plummer was like, he was my contact at PP for this all, and that guy couldn't have done more for Smog-On.
I haven't talked to him in ages.
I want,
I used to talk to him on Skype. He's on my
wild.
Skype. I haven't talked to him in forever.
Yeah, look at you with all your cool friends. I want him, I want him to come over, and
I may have already. Somebody else. One of the few guys I know just online, Simon. It's a dude to talk on Facebook and Twitter. But I've already came home on Sunday going, Smog-On was amazing. Because we have I make random comments because we do tend to read an awful lot of the same sort of stuff. And I'm like, you have to come. We have to get drunk and make superior literary comments over everyone. And he's like,
Simon Berman likes cider. I took him some cider to my first Gen Con, and because he is, he's got a bit of like UK heritage. Like,
yeah, he has told me.
Back this way.
Yeah, he's told me.
And he was like, can you bring me some cider? And I was like, yeah, I can bring you some damn cider. Like, because I always get sad when I hear the Americans talking about how amazing Strongbow is.
I know.
And I'm like, I was drinking Strongbow when I was about like 12.
But it's all they have.
That's what you drank when you were young. And it's literally all they've got. And I'm like, it's not really cider. It's just kind of like sharp lemonade, really. Like
cider-coloured liquid.
Yeah, and it just makes me sad that I'm like, if you think that's good cider, like, God, like say, go and drink some Thatchers. And it's not being snobby. It's just like you literally don't know. It's the man who's never seen sunlight just doesn't know how beautiful the world is. So, we'll get Simon over and we'll just ply him with various Thatchers drinks.
Definitely.
That would be awesome.
I'll go to Thatchers. I'll go to Thatchers and buy the obscure stuff. I'll go there.
Buy the weird stuff. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Obviously I want everyone over. I think, Ed is at the very least penciled in coming back next year. I'd obviously have all 4 of the guys that came over back, because what was good about the guys this year is it was a really good cross section of the PP experience essentially. But I want to bring as many guys over as possible, and girls, because there are some awesome ladies working at Privateer as well. Obviously, it would be awesome if we could get Matt Wilson over one year. I was hoping he was going to surprise guest appearance, but he's kind of busy in Hollywood. But yeah, if we could get the man behind the game over. But we got Doug Seacat, and he is the Iron Kingdoms now. He is the kind of the walking kind of encyclopedia.
Was tremendous from
Imrania. State of the Factions is always a riot because it's presented from the point of view. I mean, it's a shame that he doesn't do accents, and it would be awesome if he had a hat that he just sort of whipped on each different sort of faction's hat. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, to kind of get that in-world feel about what's going on in the world, and it was cute, like the little nods, like he made the joke about circle teleportation being on lockdown at the moment because of the Dragon Blight affecting the ley lines. That's adorable, because obviously there's the rage, and now they've fluff justified it and said, no, the reason it happened is because this is happening in the world, and so it's not safe to teleport at the moment, so suck it up, Circle players. So that's kind of cute, and it's all those little things like that. And we were discussing the mating rituals of Varro and Croak Hunters, and all sorts of odd questions like that. And it's just brilliant because you don't get to do it, How many times have you got to sit in a room with Doug Seacat and listen to about the Iron Kingdoms? Because for me it's 3, but I'm lucky like that. But I'd imagine for most people it's 0 and now hopefully 1. So yeah.
That was the stuff that I'd like to have got to. but maybe make more of an effort to do next year.
Yeah, and I think, like I say, we'll rejig the way we do staffing rotas, so everyone gets a day off to have a little bit of the con. And definitely shifts won't be as long either, because, like I said, I was looking at some of the numbers you guys were doing, and I was like, I did it because I didn't have a choice, because I had to keep an eye on things, and also because we'd be like, we're going to bed now, and then me and Al would be up chatting for ages anyway. So it was partly our fault,
Yeah,
or we'd walk to the venue to do a last sweep, and then we'd get involved in something, and we'd be like, God, it's 2:30 in the morning, and my brain.
There was no romantic candlelit breakfast or dinner with Alex this year, which is that was a bit like, we planned that, and it just didn't happen. Several times, it just didn't happen, did it, Alex? No. And no opportunity for your wife to phone in the middle of it or anything. It was most kind of disappointing. We didn't even get that chance to get that far. We'll try again.
Next year.
Well, Al was being my chaperone that weekend anyway, so that was probably for the best. Say no more. But yeah, I don't know. It was good. We'll do it again, probably in about 12 months' time, if I'm honest. Possibly sooner. We'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
So everyone that's asking me for a SmogCon 2, because people are asking me for a SmogCon 2, I don't want to over-egg the pudding. I don't want to go back to the well too many times, but I do want to do more. I'm back on the kind of the event kick. So I'm looking at all the different ways I can, run stuff that is worth running, essentially. And I've got a few ideas. I've pitched a few ideas to Bob. Bob pitched an idea to me that I was like, no freaking way. Actually, maybe that could happen. So we'll just see what happens over the next couple of months. Keep an eye on the Twitter feed and the Facebook. Obviously, it's going to die down a little bit, but plans are afoot, and who knows? Who knows what will happen next?
Well, if you need an idiot with some laptops to do some data entry, I'm always available.
I thought you meant to watch me then. Yes, I think we can definitely do the IT better. We've already been discussing it. IT will be better next year.
Yeah. We need to fix a few things, but
there's always things to improve.
Nothing was so bad that. Yeah, exactly that, and it was all the sort of tidying up at tidying up all those little bits and pieces, rather than, oh god, that just didn't work, we'll never do that again. And I think that's a really positive statement of how good it works. Which is cool. There we go. Now go away. Leave me alone. I'm tired.
Well, thank you very much, John, for coming
on.
on.
No worries. Yeah, cheers. Cheers. Like I say, thanks all three of you for being staff. It's kind of awesome to see you guys come out. Thank you to everyone who came to the event, because it's going to be terrible if you don't turn up. It kind of doesn't work. And I really cannot wait to do it again.
That's just scary.
Yay!
Don't sound too sure about that, John. People might believe you.
No, that was a positive yay. It was just a tired positive yay. It's well past my bedtime, gentlemen. We were doing this for an hour, allegedly. It's
an hour
and a half later.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Cool.
Hey ho.
Cool.
Excellent. Well, I will catch you all anon.
Yes. See you again.
That was John. Is he still here?
He is still here. I'm trying to work out what happens to that. Do I just put the headphones down and walk away, or
you can close the window. It's fine.
I will close the window and hang up. All right. See you later, guys. I'm leaving this call.
Ta-ta.
John.
See you soon. Bye.
There we go. That was good.
That was an interview. Kind of.
Yeah, first one we've done in a while.
Mm.
Well, first anything we've done in a while.
So how do we proceed from here? Should we wrap the show up now and
then do the beginning?
Then do the beginning?
Well, we should probably do a quick intro. Has there been any other news?
Not that we have any place in anything.
Only this. Well, obviously the small con news we just spent ages talking about, the new Gatory stuff. Obviously but yeah, no, I don't think it has any place in this particular podcast, does it? We can do a catch up of news if we do it as and when, and if we do another one.
Fair enough.
I think.
So, if I just do the intro and then pass straight to the John Webb interview.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Elite Cadre, the podcast that doesn't take itself too seriously. I'm Mike.
I'm Alex.
I'm Kurt. Alex, you didn't interrupt him.
I know, it's like the breaking of a grand tradition.
I don't understand. I always interrupted you, Alex. I thought I'm confused now. Anyway.
Oh, he's sulking now.
I'm not sulking.
This is his connection. It's fine.
Ah, that's what it is.
Mm.
Well, we've been away for a while. Hopefully we're back. On a slightly different schedule. We're hoping to kind of calm it down to one a month from here on in. So, you might get something regular out of us. Who knows?
Steady. That's just... didn't think about what you're saying there, did you?
Well, yes, true. But this episode is the first one back. We'll be talking to John Webb about somewhere we've just all been, which is SmogCon.
Oh, well, I've already spoken to John Webb.
Well, yes, in reality, we have already spoken to John Webb, but we will
Alex,
have
you're
been...
ruining the illusion. Oh, my God.
Also, it's that whole tense issue. It's like it's in the future for the people listening, but it's in the past for us.
It's in the future for the people listening now, that's the thing.
I mean, if somebody's listening on live right now, then they'll be even more confused by saying that it's happening in the future. They'll assume it's happening again, or they can just rewind. I don't know.
What if they listen to both, though?
True.
That's even worse.
That'd mess with my head.
Yes, exactly.
It's already messed with mine.
So I think the best thing that we can do at this point is pass over to ourselves talking to John. And there we go. And there's a musical sting there and stuff, and yay.
Yay.
Have we got any hobby to talk about when we come back from that?
I'm painting.
Okay.
I'm
Yes, we do.
as well.
I can hear you rinsing brushes.
Right, so we'll come back from that then. Right, so that was John Webb talking about SmogCon there.
For an hour, wasn't it? Only an hour.
Yes. John said he was very specifically only coming on for an hour because
And
that's
a half and a 3/4 and something.
Put it overran a bit because, when you get anyone involved in something they're passionate about, it's going to spill over.
I'm going now, but I'm going to talk for 10 minutes before I go, and then I'm going to do the same thing again, and then again.
Well, it took at least 2 goodbyes.
It did.
So that was good. Okay.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No,
Oh,
you hang
it
up.
was that bad. Yes. So, okay, well, I figure as it's a very much a fixture of the landscape of Elite Cadre, we should talk about some hobby.
Whoa.
So, Kurt, what are you doing hobby-wise?
As I did allude to in the middle of the interview, I have a Signal battle box on my painting table,
Ooh.
some of which is very old, and some of it it's a mixture of new plastic and old metal, because I need to put a battle box together for a very specific purpose. Because over
I don't
there,
know what that purpose could be.
well, over there is the Menoth battle box, which is painted. I was stunned I actually had a Crusader that was still in one piece. And I have a Signal battle box that's also painted, because I need 2 battle boxes painted for the same game in order to submit a press gang application.
Finally becoming one of the black shirts, which...
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that phrase.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with it. My grandmother is also going to be very disappointed. She never liked the black shirts, even back in the day.
Well, yes.
Even before that nastiness kicked off properly, as she puts it. So yeah, I'm going to try, and yeah. And I've already have 2 invitations to go and work at events as well once I get it confirmed. So
See, this is the thing. Once you join the press gang, if you say, "Hey, I'm a PG for hire," suddenly the invites start rolling in.
yeah, before I even get it, it's like, come and do this. All right.
Well, that's just the way things are.
Yeah.
So I've seen some of the Signal Jacks getting painted up. You're going with, what is it, a sort of purple and cream or purple and white?
This is something, an idea I had ages ago, which is because I tended to quite like, when I had Signal, it's an honest version of Signal. My Signal had a lot of mercs in it. Totally unlike everybody else's Signal, obviously. And I always like Lael. In fact, one of the pins I picked up at the weekend was the Lael pin. Because it's always been...
That's a nice pin.
It is lovely. Yeah, it really is. And that was actually, I only noticed it when I went rushing in to find the cheapest quick £5 pins. I could go rushing back and steal zombie Gumbjorn off of Ron Cruzy. Somebody else walked up to the ring. Could I have that? Well, I didn't look at the ultra rare thing that they wanted. I wanted the zombie thing, that the Gumbjorn that they passed to him. But yeah. So it's essentially a variation on the Lael scheme, the Lalian Jack kind of cream and white kind of scheme.
Okay.
So I did the paint them like that, and then if I eventually do go back to Mercs, which was probably my first proper War Machine faction, even though it wasn't a faction at the time. Yeah, follow it through and actually unify it, the Mercs being the same. Yeah. But that'll happen, because that never happens. I don't finish anything.
I'm sure you'll get there in the end, Kurt.
I don't really want to be one of those people that play Signar. I don't want to be one of those people, you know? That's the trouble.
To be fair, I have a box downstairs with an awful lot of Signar in at the moment. Luckily, it's all for bad seeds.
Yeah, that's the trouble though, isn't it? It's kind of, Signar, that's nice enough, but I don't want to be one of those Signar players.
Fair enough. So, Alex, what are you doing hobby-wise?
I've been painting a couple of trolls.
You're playing a Stalker and you know it.
No, not Stalker.
Is that finally finished?
No.
No, it's sold now.
No way, it's sold?
Yeah.
What, was it finished?
No.
The running joke. It's like the Spriggan all over again.
Oh, I just love Alex's painting. It's awesome. Yeah, so trolls, Alex. You hate trolls.
Yeah, no, I do at the minute. I'm not loving how this one's gone, so you never know. It might be
What
dropping.
colour are you going for, Alex?
Turquoise.
Turquoise.
I'm not sure though. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, myself, my only hobby has been to glue together a galleon, which is sitting resplendent in my case, ready for when I next play. Which, given it's been quite a while, yeah. I'm hoping to get games in soon. I've finally sort of said, well, I'll drive myself into work on a Friday so that I can actually go to a club. But I have an awful lot of stuff left to glue together. As the entire... Are you familiar with the IKEA glass cabinet, Kurt?
Vaguely, yes.
Yes. The entire bottom layer of that is just full of unglued models.
Oh, dear.
Including about, I'm going to say 80 points worth of pirates.
This is the downside about a PG point, isn't it, really? You just go, I have all that. Oh, it sits there.
That's why my last PG order was entirely, like, all of the Mercs and Ret and Convergence High Command and the RPG stuff.
Okay, you have to paint it.
No painting, no assembling, no nothing. Although
you can't get X-Wing with PG points. Anyway.
I have been playing off like that, but...
I know! I'm quite jealous of the amount of X-Wing you get to play.
Oh, it's lovely. Anyway, and I've just realised we can't have Alex to sign us off because he's gone.
Oh, no!
No. So I'll have to do it for this week, which is, quite frankly, breaking with tradition horribly. You've been listening to Elite Cadre, the Hordes of War Machine podcast that doesn't take itself too seriously. I've been Mike.
He's gone, hasn't he? I've been Kurt. I thought we were doing Wargaming, or we were doing War Machine for this one.
I know, but it's so ingrained in my brain.
But we have done SmogCon, which is essentially... the only bit that wasn't was me saying X-Wing just now.
Yeah, that
I said that.
Very true.
But yes. Lovely.
So, but we can just quickly go to... Yeah, just I've been Alex and I've been Nick. There we go. We've got the full 4 names now.
Shut up, Nick.
There we go.
There you go. Everything. Shut up, Nick. Full complete tradition. Bye.
And there we go.
Yay! Podcast.
Episode recorded. It is 5 to 11.
Cool. It's not insane. 12:30.
Yes, I can go get a drink and make lunch.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Thank you to the loyal listener who has stuck with us sort of off and on throughout this episode.
Have we got one person listening?
At the moment, yeah. We've had up to 2 or 3 listening. So hopefully if we make this a monthly feature and advertise it beforehand...
We'll get Adam and JJ.
Yes, and probably Jimmy as well while he's painting.
Oh yeah, Jimmy's, but actually it's probably it could be Jimmy, couldn't it?
So, anyway, we shall be back hopefully in a month to give you more fun and shenanigans and whatnot.
Whatnot, lots of whatnot.
Yes. Anyway, ta-ta for now.